What's good, YouTube? House of Champs here. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Avery Foster from Team Starlight, and I just scrubbed at a regional.
All right, what place did you get?
I got 10th because tiebreaker stuck.
And let's get into the all-monster deck.
Alright, so start off, I had one Rescue Rabbit. This card is surprisingly amazing all day. The only 3 vanillas I play, 3 Dragon Pulse Magician. I'm not running Pendulum Call, so actually having to hard draw into your Magicians was solid. 1 Dragon Pit, just because it's a high scale and you need that. 3 Wisdom Eye. Obviously best one. There's only, so far in the game, 3 good Pendulums that have ever came out, and that's Wisdom Eye, Scout, and Luster, just because of the fact that playing a scale is a neg one, and this pays for that. And what a lot of people don't know is if you have a Performa Pal in your scale, you can also blow this up just to summon, or to put another Performa Pal or a Magician in the scale. Or sorry, you have to put a Magician in the scale, but you can have a Performa Pal. Alright, 3 of the best card in the deck, because it searches literally every single card except for the Perform Mages. In the reptiles, 1 per Naga, 2 Lizard Draw. A lot of times you'll have like 4 or 5 Perform Mages, or not Perform Mages, Perform Pals on the board. So like if this is on board, they literally have to attack into this first, and a lot of times they can't clear everything anymore. So like they'll leave you with like an Ignister up or something like that. Otherwise you're gonna draw like 4 or 5 off because you draw 1 for each Perform Pal. 2 Camel Up. This was the worst card in the deck. It was literally just level 4 2 scale that you had to run. You run 2 of it because you run Luster. Normally you wouldn't run it, but because of a card you're about to see, you do. 2 Make Things Big. Boost everything by 300. 3 of the second best card in the deck. This searches any Performa Pal when it's normal summoned or special summoned, as long as you have both scales up. So it's the nuts, and it keeps your engine going throughout the entire thing, so you always have a follow-up play. So for that engine, 3 Plush, 3 Mirror Conductor. With the Mirror Conductors, it's just good against the mirror because it makes your thing better, your stuff bigger than theirs, and Ragna Zero is a way to have a rank 4 that actually pushes your game state forward versus just having a rank 4 that like stops your opponent. It does both. And that's like the problem with Ptolemaeus, even though it's good and I play it. 3 Juggler because it's the nuts. 1 of both these bad cards because they're bad. This is literally only good if I'm playing around Warning or I need the extra 4 for an overlay. And this is literally only good if I'm trying to be cute and make a Ptolemaeus at the end, because that's really all it is detaching with something, usually for a Feral Limbs or something of the sort, and then searching this to make it. And 3 Lusters. I drew this card like once today. That's why we run King of Feral Limbs and Mass Chameleon. Gigabyte and Mass Chameleon, your reptile targets. I considered running 2 of these just because Nat Beast out, but I figured a lot of people who are actually the better players are starting to cut Nat Beast because people are running so many Nat Beast outs in the way of Gorgon and Ghost Ogre. So I figured Nat Beast wouldn't actually come up that often, so I wouldn't actually have to have that many Nat Beast outs. And then 3 Maxis. I opted against Veiler or Ghost Ogre just because of the fact that they don't actually advance your game state any, and at any point in time, like every single card in this deck, with the exception of these 3, and to a lesser extent Part Naga, advances your game state.
And let's get to the extra and the side.
Alright, the extra deck's pretty generic stuff. 2 of these Yu-Gi-Ohs didn't make this Yu-Gi-Oh! These Yu-Gi-Ohs are good.
Yeah.
You make this Yu-Gi-Oh! Every game. You want to make this Yu-Gi-Oh! Every game, but you don't. This card is a better Ptolemaeus, at least pre-infinity, just because of the fact that it advances your game state whenever you can make it. Main spells and traps, clearing stuff, Juggler, Nat Beast, but I'm probably going to cut this because people are actually starting to catch on to it.
And people need to remember it's twice a chain. Like, you can use it as, like, twice. Like,
yeah, it's the nuts, but at the same time, people are catching on to it because previously what it was you normal and then special summon Gigabyte or Hat Tricker, and then they're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to answer the Kestel or Direwolf, and you overlay it into Gorgon. They're like, oh, shoot, I can't answer that, and Nat Beast goes, and the Pleiades becomes dead. But people are actually catching on to this card, so realistically that won't actually happen. They're just going to bounce the one that you normal summoned and just make it so you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because realistically you probably don't have another Hat Tricker or another Gigabyte.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be cut for an Emerald, which I did not run. One Nightmare. Made this like 3 times and it's MVP. Whenever your opponent special summons, you just attach to flip all the monsters face down, so you stop the entire Pendulum summon. They can't do anything past that. And then this was in testing. In theory, I only made this like once. F-Zero. I mean, it was there for Cosmo if they burned me out of Ignisters, but it didn't actually come up that relevant. The only time it actually came up was my opponent had 2 Ignisters and no cards in hand, and I had other plays, but I decided I wanted to style on him. So I made F-Zero plus Trapeze Magician, and I just made F-Zero attack twice, take both the Ignisters, and then swing directly.
That's
Ignister,
broken.
Ignister, Trapeze.
Yeah.
Now for the side deck, I sided 2 Denko Sekka for Rogue, but that didn't happen because I played against 8 Pepe Magicians. 2 Veilers. In theory, they should have been Ghost Ogres, but they were lent out. 3 MSTs. 3 Wavering Eyes. The reason why I didn't main this card is the fact that going first, it realistically doesn't actually advance your game state that often. You're not getting full utility out of the card. And going second, if your opponent committed scales, which they try not to do, it's same issue as going first. And if you go first, setting the card is awful, especially because people are running 2 to 3 Insta Fusion as a norm, so it's just really easy to clear. And then the last cards in the side deck, 3 Sanctum, 2 Scythe.
Hey.
You set that against the mirror whenever you're going first. Even if you hard draw the Scythe, you set one, they're almost always forced to Direwolf it. So several times I had people Direwolf it or MST it and just straight get blown out, because all you really need is a turn where they can't set up.
Any shout-outs?
Shout out to Team Starlight, all the guys I rode with, mainly Quentin and Derek, they're my Ethereal partners, and just all of San Antonio.
All right, thanks.
I love you.